could design your baby's features, would you? According to LA's Fertility Institute, prospective parents can select eye color, hair color, and more.
The technology is called pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, or PGD. It was created to screen for disease, then used for gender selection. Now this clinic plans to allow parents to select physical traits.
I would predict that by next year we will have determined sex with 100% certainty on a baby, and we will have determined eye color with about an 80% accuracy rate.
Dr. Jeffrey Steinberg is a pioneer in vitro fertilization.
I think it's very important that we not bury our heads in the sand and pretend that these advances aren't happening.
Kirsten and Matt Landon used his clinic to select the sex of their daughter. Choosing other genetic traits intrigues them.
I would have considered trait selection as an option, but not necessarily have gone with it.
A recent U.S. survey suggests most people support the notion of building a better baby when it comes to eliminating serious diseases. But Dr. Steinberg says using technology for cosmetic reasons shouldn't scare people away.
Of course, once I've got this science, am I not to provide this to my patients? I'm a physician. I want to provide everything science gives me to my patients.
You've come a long way, baby. Hattie Kaufman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
But is that a good thing? Joining us from Philadelphia, Dr. Arthur Kaplan, director of the Center for Bioethics at the University of Pennsylvania. Good morning, Dr. Kaplan.
Good morning, Meg.
Let me quote Dr. Steinberg. He just said that he predicts we will have determined sex with 100% accuracy and eye color with 80% accuracy in the next year. Does that give you pause at all?
It does. I think he's wrong. I don't think we're going to get to eye color and hair color and freckles for a couple more years, but he's right in principle. We're headed that way. It is going to be possible to pick traits not because of diseases or avoiding dysfunction, but because somebody has a taste for a particular child or a preference for a particular child.
He says that if it is available, why not offer it to his patients? He says he has the obligation as a doctor to do so. Do you agree with that?
I disagree completely. There are really three things, Maggie, to think about here. One is when you move away from diseases, who's to say what's the better trait? Is it better to be redheaded than it is to be brown-haired? Is it better to have freckles or not? Those sorts of things, I think, are very subjective and in some ways driven by our culture. Secondly, you're going to have the rich using these technologies, and that's going to advantage them further. It's not going to be something the poor get to do. Mm-hmm. Lastly, you got a problem here. Why are doctors in this business at all? The doctor said, I have to serve my patients, but is this just a cash business where you'd say, I want a child with short arms, I want a kid with athletic ability? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, well, we'll do that. Is everything and anything for sale at the fertility clinic?
The case of the woman who had octuplets has raised so many debates like this. Mm-hmm. The doctor who implanted 6 embryos is being criticized. A lot of people say there should be a law prohibiting that. Do you think there should be laws prohibiting this?
Yes, absolutely. And the time to start this discussion is right now. For example, I don't think you should get any of these traits offered to you without some counseling. So you can think about, well, is this that important to me? Is this really going to make that much difference? You don't want to saddle children with false expectations. The parents pick a kid to be smart. The kid doesn't succeed. Now they're mad because they spent a lot of money to do this. They don't get what they want. We need more oversight of this industry. And I think this is going to turn out to be one of the biggest issues in the next 10, 15 years, the extent to which we design our babies and who's going to be able to call the shots, if you will, on whether the technology gets used to do it.
We shall see. Dr. Arthur Kaplan, thanks for your time this morning.